everyone, my name is Rana Grace Maluluron from 11 PPPA. This video we will talk about the geologic timescale. What is geologic timescale? A geologic timescale is a timeline that illustrates Earth's history based on geologic events and life forms. This is a system that chronologically relates geological strata to time. There are four major divisions of the geologic timescale. We have the eon, the era, the period, and the epochs. This geologic time unit is based on stratigraphy, which is the correlation and classification of rock strata. The eon is the largest time span of the geologic timescale. The geologic time is divided into two eons. We have the Precambrian eons, refers to the earliest part of the Earth's history, and the Phanerozoic eon, the current geologic eon in the geologic timescale. The Precambrian eon is the earliest part of the Earth's history and divided into three eons: the Hadean eon, the Archean eon, and the Proterozoic eon. Hadean eon occurred 4.6 billion to 4 billion years ago. During this time, the solar system was forming within a cloud of dust and gas known as the solar nebula, which eventually spawned planets and etc. During this time, the Earth started cooling and the outer edge of the planet solidified from molten lava to a solid crust. Water rained from the atmosphere and created ocean. The Archean eon, between 4 billion and 2.5 billion years ago, the first form of the life on our planet, was created in the ocean. Exactly when or how it happens is unknown, but microfossils of this time indicate that life began in the oceans about 3.5 billion to 2.8 billion years ago. By the end of the Archean, the ocean floor was covered in a living mat of bacterial life. The Proterozoic eon, also called as the Age of Hidden Life, started 2.5 billion years ago, and this time enough shared rock had formed to start recognizable geologic processes, such as plate tectonics. Proterozoic eon contains many definite traces of primitive life forms. The fossil remains of bacteria and blue-green algae, as well as the first oxygen-dependent animals. The next eon is the Phanerozoic eon, the time in which abundant animal and plant life has existed. It covers 541 million years up to the present. The Phanerozoic eon is subdivided into three eras. We have the Paleozoic era, the Mesozoic era, and the Cenozoic era. The Paleozoic era. This era ran from about 542 million years ago to 241 million years ago. Paleozoic era began with the breakup of one supercontinent, and the formation of another plants became widespread. This era is divided into 6 periods of times. We have the Cambrian period, Ordovician period, Silurian period, Devonian period, and Carboniferous period, and Permian period. Paleozoic era began with the Cambrian period, 53 million years ago. This era is known for ushering in an explosion of life on Earth. This Cambrian explosion exploded with the evolution of the arthropods, ancestors of today's insects and crustaceans, and chordates, animals with rudimentary spinal cord. Next is the Ordovician period. It occurred 45 million years ago. This period marked in the fossil record by an abundance of marine invertebrates. Perhaps the most famous of these invertebrates was the trilobite, an armored arthropods that scuttled around the seafloor for about 270 million years before going extinct. Next is the Silurian period, which occurred 443 million to 416 million years ago. This period saw the spread of the jawless fish throughout the seas. Mollusks and corals thrive in the oceans and land, the first undisputed evidence of terrestrial life. Silurian period. This was the time when plants evolved through they most likely did not yet have leaves or vascular tissue to sip on up water and nutrients. Next is the Carboniferous period, 359 million to 299 million years ago. Carboniferous period, long before birds evolved, tetrapods began laying eggs on the land for the first time during this period, allowing them to break an amphibious lifestyle. Tetrapods were becoming more specialized and two new groups of animals evolved. The first were marine reptiles, and including lizards and snakes. The second were the archosaurs, which would give rise to crocodiles, dinosaurs, and birds. Most creepily, this era is sometimes referred to as the age of the cockroaches, because roaches' ancient ancestors was found all across. The last of the Paleozoic era is the Permian period, which occurred to 299 million to 251 million years ago. This period would end with the largest mass extinction ever, the Permian extinction. Before the Permian mass extinction, throughout the warm seas, teemed with life, coral reefs flourished, providing shelter for the fish and shell creatures such as nautiloids and ammonoids. Modern conifers and ginkgo trees evolved on land. Terrestrial vertebrates evolved to become herbivores, taking advantage of the new plant life that had colorized the land. The next era is the Mesozoic era, which is divided to three periods: the Triassic, the Jurassic, and the Cretaceous period. Mesozoic era. This period spans from about 252 million years ago to 66 million years ago. Was also known as the Age of Reptiles or the Age of Dinosaurs because of its famous inhabitants. This era is also known as the Middle of Life era. Life diversified rapidly, and giant reptiles, dinosaurs, and other monstrous beasts roamed the earth. First, we have the Triassic period, which occurred to 252 million to 200 million years ago. This period saw the rise of reptiles and the first dinosaurs. Next is the Jurassic period, which occurred to 200 million to 145 million years ago. This period marked by the presence of dinosaurs and the first appearance of birds. And we have the Cretaceous period, 145 million to 66 million years ago. This period is also known for its iconic dinosaurs such as Triceratops and pterosaurs such as Pteranodon. And we also have the Cenozoic era, which is divided into three periods: the Paleogene, Neogene, and Quaternary period. This era began about 65 million years ago and continues into the present. Is the third documented era in the history of Earth. The current location of the continents and their modern-day inhabitants, include humans, can be traced to this period. The Cenozoic era is also known as the Age of Mammals because the extinctions of many groups of giant mammals, allowing smaller species to thrive and diversify because their predators no longer existed. First of the Cenozoic era is the Paleogene period, which existed 65 million years to 23 million years ago. This period consists of the Paleocene, Eocene, and Oligocene epochs. The beginning of the Paleogene period was a time for the mammals that survived from the Cretaceous period. Later in this period, rodents and small horses such as Hyracotherium are common, and rhinoceroses and elephants appear. As the period ends, dogs, cats, and pigs became commonplace. Next is the Neogene period, which happened to 23 million to 2.6 million years ago. This period includes the Miocene and Pliocene epochs. The Neogene period gives rise to early primates, including early humans, bovids, including cattle, sheep, goats, antelope, and gazelle, flourished during this period. Last is the Quaternary period, 2.6 million up to the present year. This period, consisting of the Pleistocene and Holocene epochs in this period. Cave lions, saber-toothed cat, cave bears, giant deer, woolly rhinoceroses, and woolly mammoths were prevalent species of the Quaternary period. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.